Now on the CTV News at 5. Reaction to the province invoking the notwithstanding clause on legislation affecting transgender youth. Plus, musician Corb Lund launches a petition to protect Alberta's eastern slopes from coal mining. And we take you for a sneak peek of Streets Alive Mission's brand new facility.
Telling your stories. CTV News Lethbridge with Jackie Scantlebury.
Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. Fallout continues from the province's latest plan to use the notwithstanding clause. The UCP government is trying to push through legislation critics say will harm trans youth. Quinn Keenan has more.
This government does not turn to the notwithstanding clause unless the stakes warrant it. And in this case, the stakes could not be higher. This is one of the most consequential actions our government will take during our time in office.
The UCP has tabled Bill 9, which would invoke the notwithstanding clause. It would be used to push through 3 pieces of legislation that will affect transgender youth. If the bill passes, it would restrict the ability for trans youth to receive gender-affirming health care, require parents to be notified if a student wants to change their name or pronouns at school, and would restrict transgender women from competing in women's sports. 2 of the 3 bills were in the midst of court challenges.
When it is children at the center of these court challenges and decisions, we have a moral imperative to move forward in the best interests of children and their futures.
LGBTQ+ advocates are outraged. They believe these actions unfairly target trans youth and are not based on any scientific evidence.
It's very concerning. I'm concerned about the creep of authoritarianism, and I can see that they have managed to literally normalize the suspension of human rights.
Others are upset at the province's willingness to use the notwithstanding clause once again. The Alberta Teachers Association is calling out the province after it also used the clause 3 weeks ago to end the teachers' strike.
It is not routine governance. It is a dangerous escalation by a government that has grown far too comfortable reaching for the notwithstanding clause as a political weapon.
Many are calling for changes on how the notwithstanding clause can be used. Any changes to the clause would have to come at the federal level. There's a growing concern over how Alberta and other provinces are using the clause.
Unfortunately, we can see this trend kind of moving across the country. New Brunswick has attempted, and Saskatchewan has attempted with regard to similar types of policies.
Quinn Keenan, CTV News, Lethbridge.
Alberta musician Corb Lund has launched a citizens' initiative to protect Alberta's eastern slopes from coal mining.
June 11th, I went to a coal town hall in Fort Macleod, and a number of the ministers were there, and Premier Smith was there. And Premier Smith gave me the answer because she said that if we really didn't want coal, we should start a citizens initiative. So I put together a legal team, and that's what I'm doing.
Launching the initiative can lead to a referendum. Lund hopes the province will enact legislation prohibiting any new coal mining along the slopes of the Rocky Mountains before that happens. Lund, who grew up in southwestern Alberta, has been vocal against coal mining for the past 5 years and says a petition and possible referendum are the only ways the government will listen. Northback has been approved for exploratory drilling in the Grassy Mountain area near Crow's Nest Pass. A long-awaited Auditor General's report into the province's failed privatization of Alberta's lab services has been released. Doug Wiley says he found issues across governance and oversight, financial management and procurement. Dynalife took over Alberta Precision Laboratories in 2022, but patients soon complained of long wait times and a lack of appointments. Less than a year later, the province bought out Dynalife and APL took over again. Wiley's report says the whole affair cost taxpayers $125 million. It disrupted services and had adverse effects and impacts on patients and staff.
Findings in this examination demonstrate that the government did not follow its own procurement processes. And these are the processes that are designed to protect Albertans' interests. As you can imagine, when procurement, governance and accountability systems break down, it's Albertans who pay the price.
The Auditor General recommends provincial health departments ensure their own processes are followed and analyzed before public money is spent on major procurements. Thousands of healthcare workers could be on the picket lines on Saturday morning. The Alberta Union of Provincial Employees serving strike notice after negotiations fell through with the province. Union members, which covers licensed practical nurses and healthcare aides, voted 98% in favor of strike action earlier this month. They say while talks have not gone as they hoped, they are still open to negotiating.
We remain ready to return to the table. We remain committed to reaching a fair agreement. But make no mistake, our members will not back down from what is right, what is just, and what is necessary.
If nothing is resolved, workers could walk off the job at 8:30 a.m. Saturday morning. Major sticking points have been compensation for licensed practical nurses and a reduction of annual hours. Time to check in with Danielle Savoni. And Danielle, it is starting to feel like winter out there.
Yep, it's a nice little taste of winter that we did receive. Yesterday's high was just 5 in Lethbridge. Today, closer to 8 is where we've been getting up to. And then for tomorrow, we'll be back in the double digits. So it was a short-term Mother Nature giving us a little taste of what's to come, but she's holding out for another little while. In fact, this weekend we're looking at warm weather. We're actually in between two systems right now. We're getting mainly sunny skies. We're sitting at 8 degrees right now. Just a look at temperatures all around here: 6 in Milk River, 5 in Medicine Hat, 6 in Pincher Creek and Brooks, and again the 8 in Lethbridge. Aside from areas closer to Medicine Hat, the winds have been calm as well today. And again, warmer temperatures to come. I'll show you that in just a little bit, Jackie.
All right, thanks, Danielle. One person is dead, another injured after a three-vehicle collision south of Brooks late yesterday afternoon. The crash happened at the intersection of Highways 36 and 873 near Rainier around 5 p.m. Police say a white van heading west failed to stop for a stop sign and hit a trailer being hauled by a semi. Now, the semi-truck was pushed into the oncoming lane and collided with an SUV. The driver of the van, a 22-year-old man from Coaldale, died at the scene. The driver of the SUV, a 47-year-old woman from Vauxhall, had to be extricated from her vehicle and was taken to hospital in Calgary with undetermined injuries. The semi-driver was not injured. Streets Alive Mission is getting set to open its brand new facility near the Lethbridge shelter on Monday. The space will house client services, a pin bank, and donation warehouse to assist the city's vulnerable population and guide them to recovery. Carson Marsouk reports.
It's a space more than 2 years in the making. Streets Alive Mission will open its new location on Monday.
We're extremely excited. We've spent over 30 years with the mission in a variety of leased places, and now we are in a place that we actually own, and it's exciting to be in that position.
More than 18,000 square feet of space has been renovated to include a pin bank for clothing, a dedicated space for client services, and 2 large bays for donations. The facility, located across the street from the shelter and soup kitchen, will be the primary location for the mission to operate out of. About 800 people use its services.
We see roughly 1,500 to 1,600 visits to our clothing bank every month, which is a lot. And we expect to see that increase slightly because there is a group of people that don't make their way to where our current location is that will likely access services now that we're here.
While there is still more work to do, Ken Kissick says now is the time to open.
It was very crucial to get it done now, to be able to get in and to be able to be set up to do the winter, the cold weather, and to be able to provide those services.
The mission will provide those living on the street with necessities, and staff will also guide those struggling to recovery opportunities.
I feel like we have built an inviting space for clientele, people, agencies, and just collaboratively that we can help more people get off the streets and get out of addiction.
The current location downtown will remain for administration, but all services will operate out of the new space moving forward.
It's purpose-built. We've built it to do what we need to do.
Carson Marsouk, CTV News, Lethbridge.
A Medicine Hat radio host says a growth on his brain is stealing his voice, and he can't get a neurosurgery appointment for months. Well, now he's taken his story public, hoping someone in government will step in. Kevin Green reports.
And you are up. I need your 4-digit combination This is Kim Johnston, a well-known Medicine Hat DJ, in a video recorded when he was still hosting his daily show, and his voice was his livelihood.
Well, hang on, one by one. This is what it looks like when I try to talk. Just kind of clenches
And this, from a Facebook post he shared this week, is him now.
And it's really difficult to...
His speech has collapsed, his muscles spasm, and he says he's lost the ability to do the job he loves.
Over the past number of months, I've had speech problems, and it was just really difficult to put my finger on what exactly has been happening.
After months of decline, an MRI in October found an arachnoid cyst pressing on his trigeminal motor nerve, the nerve that controls jaw movement and speech. Kim says his symptoms are worsening every week, and he hasn't been able to eat solid food for months. He was told his first neurological assessment isn't until January, nearly 4 months after the cyst was found.
It's terrifying, absolutely terrifying. The longer this condition is allowed to go unchecked, the greater risk of permanent damage. And I feel that it is very possible that that damage may be well underway.
With no answers, Kim has now taken his fight public, using social media to pressure provincial officials to act.
It just doesn't stop.
He says he's not trying to score political points, he's trying to survive, and he's pleading for help for rural Albertans who can't afford to wait months for specialized care.
I'm not about placing the blame on any political thing. I don't care about the bureaucracy, but rural Albertans who are suffering from perhaps lesser known ailments need help because we're not getting it.
Kevin Green, CTV News, Calgary.
CTV reached out to Alberta Health and Alberta Urgent Care, but so far have not received a response. Ophthalmologists are urging the province not to go ahead with plans to let optometrists perform some surgeries and laser eye treatments. Both eye specialists complete an undergrad, but after that, optometrists get a 4-year professional degree, while ophthalmologists get 9 years of medical training. The provincial government says it is working with the College of Optometrists now in Alberta to broaden their scope of practice, which would require first passing some tests. The Canadian Ophthalmological Society says handing over even seemingly minor procedures to optometrists is very unsafe for patients. 2 East Kootenay communities are under boil water orders, while a third is under an advisory. Cranbrook and Fairmont have both been issued boil water notices due to high turbidity levels and a water system power failure. Boiled water should be used for drinking, brushing teeth, washing fruits and vegetables, even making ice. Water should be brought to a rolling boil for at least 1 minute. And the Ridgemount community in Fernie is under a water quality advisory as crews complete an urgent water main repair there. The advisory will be in place for about 1 week. The City of Lethbridge is looking to improve response times for firefighters at station number 5 on the west side. The city's Economic and Finance Standing Policy Committee voted to recommend council approve a gravel road be built from the fire station to Métis Trail west to increase response times to Copperwood. The station, which was opened in 2020, only has 1 road in and 1 road out, with no direct access to Copperwood or the crossings area. The gravel road would connect the station to that area, but comes with a cost of $315,000. 30% of that will be recouped when the road is fully developed in future years.
We map some times from Station 5 to the traffic circle just north on the north end of Métis Trail. Current route takes about 5 minutes and 15 seconds. The proposed new route would take 1 minute and 40 seconds. A difference of 3 minutes and 35 seconds. So when speaking structure fire, cardiac arrest, things like that, the time does matter, seconds matter, and this would increase our performance a lot.
The item will now go to City Council for final approval. Danielle has your 5-day forecast coming up right after this break. Plus, how the use of GLP-1 weight loss drugs is changing how Canadians eat, drink, and even shop.
Here's your sky cam facing south, looking stunning out there. And this is really a sign of warm, dry weather in our forecast. Yes, a lot warmer, double digits, and not just for 1 day, for a few days. Calgary is starting to make its increase up as well, getting to 6 degrees for today, so that's warmer than yesterday, and less snow than yesterday. The snow's melting off already. 3 degrees in Edmonton for a high so far, 4 in Regina. Ottawa is at that freezing mark for a daytime high today, and Montreal as well. All right, right now closer to home here, you can see 4 in Medicine Hat, 6 in Pincher Creek and Lethbridge and Brooks. When we talk about winds right now, they have been calm for most communities. However, Lethbridge over to Medicine Hat, maximum gusts closer to 40 kilometers per hour. So not extremely gusty, reasonable gusts out there. This will pick up. The difference is we've had gusts out of the northwest for today predominantly, and tomorrow it will switch and it will be a westerly wind. So that Chinook setup, once again, that's going to drive our temperatures up, but it will get a little gustier for tomorrow. So Pincher Creek, Crow's Nest Pass area, looking at gusts up to 60, maybe even a little higher than that, 70 kilometers per hour for tomorrow. And Lethbridge will pick up as well. And it should quiet down with regards to the winds over in Medicine Hat. So we're going to switch things over. All right, we're in between two systems. We have this one that we've dealt with that's off now to the east. This is the next one that's moving through BC, but the mountains are going to hold a lot of that moisture off. So we're not looking at any of the moisture making its way over. What this will set us up for, though, is the Chinook setup, where we're going to get those stronger winds out of the west. We'll get some cloud cover at times, but it should be mainly sunny. I'm just going to play this all the way through because there's no need to really stop it for the next couple of days. As you can see here, the systems will track to the north of us, so it will be a central Alberta thing. But for the far south, we're just really dealing with the odd cloudy period. We're also dealing with some wind, and we're going to get these warmer temperatures. You know, the usual Chinook type setup for us. -3 overnight in the East Kootenay area. Fog patches developing late at night and continuing into early tomorrow morning with a high of 5 for tomorrow. Mainly cloudy skies, but you should get some sunny breaks. It will be chilly in the Crow's Nest Pass area. Wind chill of -8 in the overnight hours, which means you're looking at a wind chill of about -7 by 7 a.m. tomorrow. Gusts 60 kilometers per hour, especially in the afternoon, and a high of 4. Medicine Hat, the winds will calm down, but still a wind chill. Wind chill -12 overnight, and tomorrow morning when off to work and school, a wind chill of -11. So definitely a cold start to the day, but you're looking at a high of 5, and temperatures will start to warm from there as well over these next few days. Speaking of warmer temperatures, double digits tomorrow for Lethbridge. Yes, it will be gusty though, up to 50 kilometers per hour, especially in the afternoon hours. And this Chinook setup will get us into those warmer temperatures for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, as you can see here. The next system should not arrive until Sunday night. Sunday night will likely get some flurries, and then temps drop by Monday.
A new study by the Dalhousie's Agri-Food Analytics Lab finds weight loss drugs are changing the way Canadians eat and shop for food.
These numbers are incredibly scary for the food industry. You have to understand that a lot of companies have based their business models on impulse buying.
The study surveyed more than 8,000 Canadians. Nearly 47% said they use Ozempic solely for type 2 diabetes. 35% use it for weight loss alone. And with the arrival of the similar drug Wegovy, many are worried food eating and shopping trends will continue to be affected. The study found nearly 19% of people are buying fewer groceries, 15% are cutting back on fresh meat, and a little more than 12% are buying fewer fruits and vegetables. Meanwhile, another report is warning less than half of Canadian adults are getting enough physical exercise. In its 2025 report card, Participaction finds just 46% of adults are meeting the guidelines for physical activity. The report says physical inactivity is costing the healthcare system $3.9 billion a year, and a modest 15% increase in physical activity would save nearly $1 billion annually. Still ahead on the CTV News at 5, professional bull riding is returning to Lethbridge. Sports is next. The Lethbridge Hurricanes continued their BC road trip yesterday. They were in Victoria taking on the Royals. Lethbridge would get off to a slow start with Victoria scoring first, but the Canes would respond with Cade Duell scoring to tie the game at 1. And just a few minutes later, it was Duell finding the back of the net again as Lethbridge takes the lead, and it would stay that way until late in the second when Luke Cousins scored to make it 3-1. Hudson Kibblewhite got in on the fun with his 8th goal of the year for the 4-1 lead. Lethbridge would survive a late Victoria push and hang on for a 4-3 win. Professional bull riding will once again be making a stop in Lethbridge this spring. The PBR Canada's Elite Cup Series will take over the visitlethbridge.com arena for the PBR South Country Co-op Showdown in March. This will be the 8th consecutive season the series has stopped in Lethbridge. The event will be the second stop of the regular season for PBR Canada's Premier Cup Series. The showdown is set for March 6th and 7th. Tickets go on sale Friday. The World Junior Hockey Championship is returning to Alberta next year. The games will take place in Edmonton and Red Deer. Rogers Place will be the main venue, hosting 17 games, including both semifinals and the medal games. Red Deer will host 14 games, and a few other Alberta communities may be used for pre-tournament training and practices. Next year's World Juniors kick off December 26th and wrap up January 5th. This year's event is being played in Minneapolis, Minnesota. To baseball now, where Bo Bichette has rejected a qualifying offer from the Toronto Blue Jays and will now test free agency. Bichette rejected the offer, which would have seen him make just over $22 million next year with the Jays. Bichette, who finished second in the majors with 181 hits last season, is considered one of the top free agents in this year's class and is expected to secure a major contract. If he signs with another team, the Jays will receive a draft pick due to Bichette rejecting the qualifying offer. Still ahead on the CTV News at 5, some Southern Alberta students are getting hands-on learning about vertical farming. That story next. Welcome back. Students at a Diamond Valley High School are swapping pencils for plants to work on its vertical farm. Oilfields High School students are able to earn credits learning about sustainable agriculture, business management, and environmental stewardship. This vertical farm has the ability to grow vegetables, which includes microgreens and herbs and spices year-round. Not only do students learn how to grow the produce, but also the business side, meeting with clients, marketing the products while ensuring profitability. All revenue earned goes directly back towards the vertical farm.
It's fun to help the community. It's good to keep the community self-sustained. It's good for the environment.
I enjoy it because it's definitely a hands-on experience, and we're learning stuff that you can't get out of a textbook.
I enjoy the hands-on experience. We get to have hands-on environment where we're learning how to do stuff that we don't get to learn everywhere else.
Their products are being sold at 7 different businesses in the area, including an Italian bistro in Okotoks. It uses several of the vertical farm's produce, including basil in its Capri salad and mint for desserts and for drinks as well. Thank you for sharing this time with us tonight. Now here's the early edition of the CTV National News.